Hi guys, what's up? Tori here. So I am recording in my bedroom today, and you actually will not be seeing this video like the day that I'm recording it, or even like super close after I'm recording it, just because of what this video is going to entail. So I'm just going to start off by saying today's exact date is April 13th of 2020. So it's Monday today, April 13th. And I am so excited to make this video to kind of start off this journey, but I am making this video to announce that I am pregnant. Yes, I am pregnant. I actually took a test this past Friday on April 10 is when I took the test and it came out positive. So yeah, and the reason why you won't see this video like right away is because at this point I am only estimated to be roughly 5 weeks along. So I'm not like, there is literally, outside of my husband Matt, obviously, there are only four other people that know. My sister knows, my Aunt Sally, who is like my second mom, knows, my very best friend, who also was my maid of honor at my wedding, she knows, and then my pastor who married me and Matt, she also knows, just because those are four people that I know I can trust and they can keep a secret, and also they're good people that I can go to for support if I need it, and also if anything, God forbid, were to happen, like I know I could turn to them and they'd be great support people and be good for me, and I know they're also people that'll be praying for me and stuff all during this time. So the first thing I want to show you is I am actually going to show you the pregnancy test. So here it is. As you can see there, it says positive on it. So it says pregnant. This is just a basic first response pregnancy test. So I'm going to kind of like, I guess, explain things. First off, I need to start off by saying I only ever had one period. I got my IUD taken out at the end of January, as you guys know if you've been watching my channel. And I did not get a period at all in February, which honestly was kind of like, I mean, when you first get an IUD out, like your body does have to kind of like re-regulate itself and figure things back out, especially in my case, since having all my weight loss and whatnot. I hadn't had my IUD out since losing all my weight. So like, my body had to figure things out. And let me tell you, February was definitely interesting regarding my body, because I definitely felt very, like, I think my hormones were extremely out of whack that whole month, because I felt very off. There were moments that, like, I questioned if I was pregnant. I actually did take, like, 3 or 4 pregnancy tests within the month of February. And I think I took 3. I might have only taken 3. I don't know if I did 4. But anyways, just because like there were definitely things that were happening that kind of made me question if I was pregnant, and like every test I took, it came out negative. So I was just like, I'm obviously not pregnant. And then the very beginning of March is when I got my period, and I had my period March 7th through 12th roughly. And my period actually ended up not being that bad. It literally lasted a normal time span, which is good for me. And also on top of that, it really wasn't, there was like one day where it was where it was definitely a little more on the heavy side. And then like after that, it kind of just petered off and it really wasn't so bad. Like it was pretty manageable, I was able to deal with it just fine. And that was it. And I was using the app called Ovia Fertility to kind of track my cycles and my fertility and all that, because you can plug in when you get your period, and then it estimates for you when your fertile window is and when you're potentially going to ovulate and all that. So I was watching that like super close, and so Matt and I literally were going off of that. So like after like we made sure to be trying, like when I was in, to be honest, like I wasn't even sure how accurate that was truly going to be for my body, because like I said, I've never had a normal cycle ever in my life. So yeah, I didn't know. And then also that app tells you when you're supposed to get your next period. Well, I was supposed to get my next period like right at the beginning of April, that first weekend of April. So like not this past weekend, but the weekend before is when I was supposed to get my period. And my period never came, which I did not think much of that, because I'm like, never been regular. Like my body could literally just be skipping my period. So I didn't think a lot of it. You know, in my mind, I was like really hoping that I was pregnant, but yeah, I was just kind of like, I don't know. At that time, I really wasn't necessarily feeling like I could be. And then what kind of started to clue me in that there was a possibility was my boobs started hurting. And I've never had boob pain before. Like, it wasn't horrible, bad boob pain. Like, it just kind of like, they felt kind of sensitive and kind of weird. And then every time, like, I would go to, like, take a shower and, like, I'd look in the mirror, I'd be like, it kind of all of a sudden, like, after, like, I had a couple of days where they were hurting. And it was like, after those days, like, I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, do my boobs seem bigger? Like, like, to me, they just looked bigger. Something just seemed very off. And I was just like, this is just really odd and really weird. Like, that was honestly my biggest indicator. I mean, I had a few other little things going on, but I'm like, it could have been anything that was going on. Like, I was having trouble sleeping and getting comfortable at night, having some trouble with like indigestion and stuff in the evenings, and like that. I mean, that could have been anything. That could have even been like my weight loss surgery related. Like, that's not uncommon for that kind of thing to happen. And so, like, but that was kind of what was really beginning to clue me in. And when I had gone the whole week of when I was supposed to get my period without getting my period, I kind of was like, okay, maybe I should just take a pregnancy test just to make sure. And honestly, like, yes, I was really, really wanting it to come out positive. I was praying it was going to come out positive. Like, I was just like, I really like want this so bad. But yet in my mind, I was like, it's going to come out negative. Like, I just want to prepare myself for that. Like, it's going to be negative. And so right when I got up Friday morning, I took the test and I set it aside. And I kind of set it down in like a spot where like I wouldn't be able to like watch it and look at it, because I didn't really want to watch it and look at it, because I was not wanting to get my hopes up so fast. And like I, set my timer for the 3 minutes that you're supposed to wait, went to the bathroom, went and washed my hands, and like I literally stood at the sink after I washed my hands and just like was staring in the mirror, kind of looking in the mirror behind me a little bit. And I was just like, okay, like kind of actually nervous to look at the test. And like part of me was just I was kind of being like, just let it be positive, because like in my mind I was like, if it doesn't come out positive, like for me I kept being like, if I'm not pregnant, like I just want to actually get my period instead of being like messed around with like this. Like, and I was like very much prepared for it to stay negative, even though I was really wanting to stay positive. And then the time was up, I went to go grab the test and I looked at it and I saw it was positive, and I literally just went, oh my gosh. Like, I literally over and over again, I was just saying like, oh my gosh. Like, I couldn't believe that it actually was positive. And like my hands were like shaking. I was so excited. And I literally like ran out of the bathroom. Matt actually happened to have that day. He was actually off from work that day. He took the day off. And like my hands were like shaking, and I like ran downstairs with the test in my hand, and I was like walking up. He was already like up and in the rocking chair and stuff, and like I walked up to him and I showed him the test and I put it in front of him, and he looked at it and he just was like, there's 2 lines there. And I was like, yeah, there's 2 lines there. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And like he was just like, whoa, like, oh my gosh. Like, to be honest, he didn't have like a super huge reaction, and like that honestly doesn't surprise me from him, because he's not one to like have these big, huge, crazy reactions. Like, honestly, if you were to watch like our entire wedding video, like probably the biggest reaction he had to anything throughout our wedding was when he saw me in my dress for the first time. And even that, like, he just kind of was like, whoa, and had like this huge smile. Like, it wasn't anything like crazy big, huge. Like, it's just not his personality to have these big, huge reactions. So like, I didn't expect the big, huge reaction on him, but he definitely was happy, and like him and I kissed and we're excited and all that. And like literally, like I was like so excited and stuff. Like my hands were just like shaking. Like I was holding the test and like it was literally like going like this. Like I was like shaking, and I like couldn't contain myself. And I texted my aunt and my sister right away. And then shortly after that, I texted my pastor. And then I had been messaging my, and then it was actually the next day before I messaged my friend Kendra and talked to her. Just because like initially I wasn't sure if I was going to tell her, but then I decided, you know what, why not? Like just to have at least a few people. So yeah, like that's kind of the whole like finding out we are pregnant story. So then I downloaded the Ovia pregnancy app so that way I could kind of track my pregnancy. Also, that Friday I did call my doctor's office right away because I'm like, I want to call right away and try to set something up because I'm like, with all the, COVID-19 stuff going on, like, I know like I'm probably not going to get in for an actual in-person appointment anytime soon, but if I can at least call them and be like, hey, I'm pregnant, like, can we at least get something set up soon? And I called, and actually my doctor's office does it that at 8 weeks they do a actually like a phone consult. Anyway, like they do like a phone call consult with like a nurse for the first appointment, and like the nurse goes over everything with you. And then during that is also when they set up your first like ultrasound and like actual first appointment. So I have a phone consult set up for May 5. That I will be doing that. So then hopefully not too long after that is when we will be able to get in for a first appointment. And hopefully by that point, we can cross our fingers and keep praying. Hopefully by that point, this COVID-19 thing will be hopefully starting to settle down and things will kind of be in the slow progress back into normal, hopefully is what I'm hoping. Because at this point, at least in the state of Michigan, we are still under stay-at-home orders and all that. And actually, it's been like we're under a stay-at-home order now until April 30th. So hopefully, within this month, things will start to slow down with it. And then, by the time the stay-at-home order's up, like things will be able to kind of gradually start going back to normal. And I'm hoping and praying for that at least. So. And as far as the whole COVID-19 thing and being pregnant, like I am not concerned at all because I literally pretty much never leave this house. The only times I have left my house have been to get groceries, and that's it. Like I literally have been in my house for the last month and have not hardly left. Like I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've actually like gone in my car and driven somewhere since the whole thing started. So I literally have pretty much just been here. But yeah, so like I said, I am actually currently about 5 weeks along. And that's a rough estimate based on, when I had my last period. So that's, kind of roughly about where I'm at. And when I called and made like that appointment on Friday, they told me that probably puts my approximate due date like in December. So I'm due sometime in December. So, and they gave me an approximate day of December 13th for an approximate due date, but that definitely could change yet because I haven't actually gone in for any official appointments or anything. And so, that's just all approximation. So basically at this point, I'm just going to tell you now with how I've been feeling. So in all honesty, I've actually been feeling pretty good. Like I've so far not had any nausea, morning sickness. The like most I've had regarding like that kind of thing is like I mentioned, I have had a few times where I've had some really bad like indigestion, acid reflux kind of thing at night. I've had that a couple of times. But that's been about it. The biggest symptom, like I mentioned, has been my boobs. Like they have definitely they've been sore and tender and they've definitely gotten a lot bigger. Like my normal bras like don't really cut it anymore. They're not comfortable whatsoever. But so that's been the biggest thing. And then the other thing, like I have noticed, I actually just started noticing over the weekend, I've had hot flashes a couple of times. So that's a thing. And the other thing is I have a really hard time at night and like getting comfortable and sleeping. I normally use just one pillow when I go to sleep at night. I have actually a second pillow set up now, which has been helping me get a little bit more comfortable and be able to at least like get to sleep a little bit easier. The hardest thing though I'm having with at night is I am constantly waking up at night because I'm having the most crazy, vivid dreams ever. So like they're very vivid, like I can remember them and they're always like really weird and freaky and like freak me out. So like I wake up and then I have a hard time going back to sleep because I'm afraid of the dream like starting over again and like or like picking up right where I left off. Like I woke up for a reason, but I don't want to go back into it. And so like that is the biggest problem I've had in the evenings with sleeping at night. And then like the comfort thing has been a little bit better since I added using a second pillow. But the whole vivid dream thing, like, oh, I want it to stop. Like it is driving me insane. I'm not gonna lie. And then otherwise, like I will say I've had some tiredness here and there, but nothing crazy unusual. I have no, again, like over this weekend, I have noticed like I have been gassy. I have had some trouble with being bloated and definitely have had some slight constipation and pooping issues. Honestly, anytime something weird goes on with my body, that always seems to be my body's reaction. Um, so I've had that, but that's really pretty much it. Like that's pretty much listing all the symptoms I've had so far. And really overall so far I've been feeling pretty good. So, we'll see how things progress. I mean, that could very much change. I could definitely start getting nausea. I could definitely start having a lot more symptoms and a lot more other things going on. But so far I'm feeling pretty good and doing pretty good. And all of that. So I guess from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of stand up and I'll show you my belly right now. Obviously, I don't really have any bump at this point, but this is at least a good starting point so you guys can see what my belly currently looks like. And then you'll be able to see what it'll look like as like I continue to progress and all that. So I'm just going to stand up right here and just kind of angle my camera downwards, more towards my belly. So here we are. So shirt down, this side, forward. Here, I'll stand back a little bit more. And to this side. So, and then I will lift my shirt up. I have a sports bra on, so again, I'll just roll my pants down. But yeah, so to this side. And I've already had breakfast today, so they're honestly, like, if it looks like there might be anything, it's just literally probably all pure bloat. Like I said, I've noticed very easy bloating lately, so that's side, front, and this side. So yeah, so obviously no baby belly bump or anything at this point. Anything that's there is just all bloating at this point because I'm like barely 5 weeks along, and the baby is literally the size, according to my app, is the size of a peppercorn, which is like, those little like pepper things that are inside a pepper grinder that they use like in restaurants, or maybe you even have one in your home. But yeah, so that is everything. That is my big announcement. I'm so excited. Matt is so excited. And I will keep doing these videos, these update videos for you guys as regularly as I can, and they will get uploaded after we eventually tell everybody. The rest of my family, I want to wait till we can actually like get together again to tell them, because I want to tell them in person. And then obviously it'll probably be closer to when I'm through my first trimester that I actually tell like everyone else. And I want to make sure people are told by me before they see anything on a video. So I'm going to end this here before it gets any longer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will keep you guys updated and posted. Love you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye.